Hello everyone, it's Melissa, and today I am back with another layout share. This is a 12 by 12 project, and I'm going to be documenting my kids' first day back to school for 2018. You can see there I've got some black and white photographs. They are printed in 3 by 4 size, and there are 3 of them. And I've also pulled my school envelope with all of my school washi, ephemera, pattern paper, all of it tucked nice and neat in that little binder, little folder thing. So I love it. And I'm going to start by pulling it from my product jar. And essentially this layout today was inspired by Susanna Lee. She did a Halloween 12 by 12 layout, grid style, and I just loved it. So I am going to be scrap lifting and using her page for inspiration. Also, I have used all of the products that I pulled from this layout but 2. I didn't get mixed media on the layout, and I didn't get eyelets on there. But as you can see, I'd used miscellaneous dies. I used a piece of flare, project life cards, frames, and yeah, enamel dots. And I really like how this project turned out. And so to start off, I have pulled from my stash the Teacher's Pet by Jen Gallagher, and it's from Echo Park, and I just love her, so I could not get this collection. So I'm going to start by using the paper clip pattern paper. It's like a gray, a light gray. And I am going to cut some curvy edges on it, and just no rhyme or reason, just going along. I used a pencil and kind of lightly drew them in, and I'm going to distress them. I'll distress them more later, but for now I'm going to just rough them up a little bit, and I'll come back, like I mentioned, later and tear them up where I think I want it to be. I've got a piece of white 12 by 12 paper cardstock from my stash. Just going to put everything on that and use that as my base just for stability. And so I'm not essentially wasteful with this collection because I love it. So also, you know, a lot of times instead of white, I will pull a piece of paper from my stash that I don't ever see myself using because, I mean, it's just there as a background piece. So, you know, just something to keep in mind. If you're looking for paper to back up things on, why not get it out of your stash that way? So as you saw, I had cut about 1 inch or 1.5 inches from the ruler pattern paper, just tucked it there. I'm going to go ahead and add some black alphabet washi tape, and I believe that's from the Park Lane from Joann Fabrics. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to do that to both sides, just the exact same way. And just going to be peeking out there. I like having those bits of color showing from the edges. And I actually roughed up the paper even more to bring in some green. You can see now peeking out from behind the paperclip pattern paper. And so I've cut the white border off my photos. Like I mentioned, I printed them in 3 by 4 size, and they are in black and white. And I had started off by cutting a frame, a chipboard frame, apart, and I'm using half on the top and half on the bottom. And that's a sheet of Post-it notes that are meant to look like composition notebooks. And I just folded one in half, tucked it behind the first day sticker, and adhered a Stampin' Up! Mini paperclip on the top of that. So I like the way that little cluster, that grouping of ephemera looks there. Just, you know, making it, giving it a homemade touch. I also have pulled some bits, leftover pieces of ephemera from Little Yellow Bicycle, and I will point those out as we go. I have a pair of glasses, black glasses brads that I got from I got them from an expo, maybe the Eyelet outlet or something like that. I don't remember. They have tons of stuff. So I'm also cutting with a punch a circle that's a clock that I will get used on this layout just as a fun piece of ephemera. So yeah, I'm going to start adhering down. Now, Susanna Lee, like I mentioned, was the inspiration for this layout, and she did a grid style Halloween page. Well, I love grids, so as soon as I saw that, I was like, yes, have to, for sure. And so that's how I will, eventually do this page, and I just love it. Using an October afternoon little piece of ephemera there. I love that October afternoon has double-sided. I'm so sad that that company's not around. I bought everything they ever made basically because their ephemera pieces, had words on one side and then they were blank on the other. So it was so great. This is this is a Brad from the Simple Stories Smarty Pants collection, which is a couple years old, but I love that it has the watch out for people crossing, like school crossing, because I walk my kids to and from the bus stop every day, and I just love seeing them off, and then I love hearing about their day when I pick them up. And so that has some significance for me, as it's got a mom and a kid on the bread. And so on the top here, you see me just adding some of that little yellow bicycle ephemera. Obviously, you see it's just bits and scraps, but if I love something, I'm saving it. And I mean, here's proof. I got all of this, the scalloped alphabet on one of the other ones, so it's fun to keep little things that you love. You know you're going to use them. Yeah, and so, oh, let's see. I'm just plugging away here. I'm going to add the Brad glasses. Like I mentioned, sorry about my head. I tried to get it out as much as possible. I used Hope Your Day is Awesome stamp, and that is from Fun and Flirty from Paper Smooches. I used Smoky Slate Stampin' Up! Ink, and then I went over with clear ink and clear embossing powder, and I used the Lawn Fawn. This is Thanks a Bushel, and I stamped a fun face on one of those stars that I die cut from my stash with yellow. I'm going to make some smaller stars with this star kind of confetti border punch and just a scrap you could see there from my stash. And I'll use some of those later. And so I'll essentially my title of this page is, I use the Project Life card on the top right that says Welcome Back to School, and the first day sticker underneath that. Basically sums up everything I wanted to document on this page. So it's kind of fun to use your elements and bits of ephemera to do your title for you. I didn't feel like anything else was needed. And so I'm just going to go ahead. I've got some dimension behind this just because I have that piece of chipboard. I need to have dimension behind the whole thing. I'm going to add a little bit to curl up the edge of that, a little foam dot. This one I'm going to put on flat, which is fine. I like giving my pages texture and having some things up and some things not. Adding another frame there. That is from Simple Stories. And the flare. It's a pie graph. I don't know where it's from. I apologize. But, finally getting it out of my stash. Super crazy old. So I love that. I'm going to go ahead and keep adding my little areas to my grid. And you'll see behind the first day Project Life card there. Oh, here I'm showing you a close-up. I used an October afternoon sticker from that sheet. And also I used the clock down there behind another piece of ephemera from Chic Tags. It's a circle and it says A+, and another Brad underneath that. So behind my first day little bit that I'm working on there, I used my notebook punch, border punch, and an index card for my stash, and just put it behind there to give it some texture, just more of a homemade piece of ephemera flair. And so I love the way that turned out. I just, the elements of dimension and texture there are just so great for me. I added some of those little stars you just saw. I'm going to add a sticker that's from the sticker sheet from Echo Park, and it just says the apple of my eye. And next you'll see me add a puffy sticker that's from Ellie Studio puffy sticker sheet, and hearing these stars. I actually used some glossy accents on the lenses of the glasses from that stamp, just because that's fun. But yeah, so coming up here, I'm gonna add a puffy sticker, a pencil. You see it in the upper right there, upper left, I'm sorry, from the L Studio puffy sticker sheet. And then I'm gonna add some enamel dots, and that's gonna wrap it up. So I will put a picture of Susanna's layout that inspired me over on my Facebook page, which I will in fact have a link to in the description box below. Also to my Instagram. I would absolutely love it if you came over and followed me and saw what I was up to on those two sites at Cut It Up Creations. And also I will, I'll put those links. I'll put her picture in that Facebook post, and I would love for you to give this a thumbs up, you guys, and thank you so much for watching. I would love for you to subscribe, of course, if you like my videos and want to see more, and I hope you have a really great week. I'm going to slow it down, show you some close-ups of this page, and yeah, I appreciate you watching. I'll be back soon. Bye.